Oh, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is No Fumbles. It's the premiere, boys. It's the number one. Your favorite gambling, NFL, but whatever. It's your favorite fucking podcast. Let me get a hell yeah. W's in the chat, boys, for the premiere. And we got a list of things to talk about for this NFL slate. It is week 17. We are going to get to go. We're going to talk about what's going on with these fucking Vikings. It is ridiculous. If you've been paying attention these last 2 weeks, I don't even have to say anything. You know something's up. We're going to dive into it a little bit. And then we're going to get after week 17, a board review. We're going to go break down each game, look at our favorite bet, and just try to give you our edge, what we would do. We're not necessarily placing a bet on every game. That's crazy. But I will give you 3 picks that we will probably tail. I will give those at the end. And before that, we have Dogs of the Week. We're giving you our 3 best underdogs. I'm not doing like underdog spreads with minus 110s and shit like that. I'm talking real dogs. I'm talking plus 250, plus 125. Underdogs, real ones, guys. Hopefully we get some wins. And like I said, let's start it off with the Vikings. What the fuck is going on, guys? The Vikings are on a sick one. 2 weeks ago, they were playing the Colts, and we all know how that game went. 36-39, but they were at a 33-point deficit. A 33-point deficit at halftime. 33-0. They looked like they were going to lose. I know I placed a bet on the Colts. I believe that the Vikings got all the way up to plus 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it was plus 1,000. And then fast forward to this last week, I believe it was on Christmas, they decided to give you a present, neatly wrapped. It was tied until the end. It was 24-24, 26-26, something like that. And it was the fourth quarter. They were about to go in overtime with 4 seconds left. And man, the Vikings kicker showed why he was in the NFL. He punted that son of a bitch 61 yards, if y'all believe that. If you check in our watch parties, there was a live view of our reaction to that. It's completely crazy and worth checking out. But man, the Vikings, they have something up with them. If this was happening to New Orleans, like, the Saints, voodoo magic. That's an easy out. But Vikings? Minnesota? What the fuck's going on in Minnesota? I'm not mad at it. I just went in. I think that the Vikings are someone you should definitely have on your card because they clearly want to win. They aren't to be played with. And moving on to our second topic, we're going to jump into the NFL boards. The NFL boards, I know you boys want to get into it. Drop your favorite games in the chat if you're hanging out with us live on YouTube. If you're checking in after the fact, hopefully we did well, right, guys? Hopefully. Started off, I want to talk about tonight's game. Thursday night football. It is 3:34 my time right now, and I believe it's starting at like 7:10 or something like that. It is going to be tonight. It is Titans versus Cowboys. You know me, man. I compare you to the worst you play, and see how, it affects each other. Like, for example, what I mean is Texans versus Titans is 19-14. Texans versus Cowboys is 23-27. The Texans are the worst team. We're comparing you at your worst. You're going against the Cowboys when you're the number 2 worst team in the league. You expect to get demolished. They didn't get demolished. They only got beat by 4 points. Titans, they did lose, but it wasn't by a lot. I don't think that these stats deserve plus 12. I think they deserve like plus 6.5. Plus 12 doesn't frighten me off. I will take that all day. Give me Titans plus 12. I even think, if I'm not mistaken, in the time that I took these notes, that it's jumped up to plus 13. Plus 13? Take it. And then the first game on Sunday, Cardinals versus Falcons. This was an easy choice for me. Over 40. It's hit 5 times in their last 6 matchups. and I expect the trend to continue. Am I right? Then we're moving on to Panthers versus Bucks. I have Bucks -3. They're the better team here. Panthers are a low loss team. Should be like 6.5, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was just an upset, like the Panthers pull one out. It's nothing crazy. Like the Panthers, what, they only have one loss, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe that this is a team that's just going to dominate everybody and shut everybody out, but I wouldn't be surprised. This is a game that I almost passed on, but I figured y'all would want to pick. The Bears versus Lions. These are two teams with okay offenses, but poor defense. It should be high scoring. I'm going over 52. Over 52 is, it's a lot. It's a lot, but you look at their past records, it hits it. And you look at the past Lions games, and people on both sides run up tons of points. I'm going under 52 with the Bears and Lions game. Browns versus Commanders. I went Commanders -2. They just seem like the better team. There wasn't a lot of reasoning with that. These are two shit teams, and I would pass on this as well. But if you had to lock something in, we all know we're going Commanders. One that I actually did pass was the Broncos versus Chiefs game. Mainly because Broncos just lost their head coach. They might be wanting to, redeem themselves and prove something. Or they could just be dog shit. The Chiefs are a good team, and they have the ability to beat the shit out of the Broncos, but it's not something that I'd like to bet on. Then we got Colts versus Giants, over 38.5. This has met, 5 out of 5 times in their last meetup. This has happened. They keep meeting up, and the same thing happens. So why don't we just, lock in the same thing and see how that goes? Jags versus Texans, clearly Jags -4.5. It's the Texans. That's all the reasoning that we need, I believe. I mean, come on. I know that they just won one off the Titans, but I don't believe that they're the team that's going to be able to double back, double down, and get that double win. Dolphins versus Patriots. Look, the Dolphins, they have the Fleming curse. As long as Frank's a fan, you got to take the other team. It's no hate against Frank. It's just, I recognize it for what it is. As long as Frank backs the Dolphins, I'm out. It might be worth the fade. Saints versus Eagles, over 44. 4 out of 5 hits in their last 5 meets. I like these trends. Stuff that's hitting the majority of the time. Why wouldn't you take them? I mean, we like free money, and this seems to be free money. Jets versus Seahawks. I'm not going to get a lot of love for this pick. Might drop some L's in the chat when you see this. And I might be wrong, but I'm taking the contrarian pick of +2 Seahawks. They're at home. I feel like it's a great pick. They have better stats, and they have the same record as the Jets. I get that the Seahawks are overall a bad team, but who the fuck are the Jets? I'm not impressed. Well, let's get Seahawks +2. And then we have a fun one, 49ers and Raiders, over 41.5. These are two good teams. They're going to put a lot of scores on the board, a lot of touchdowns, and I don't expect them just to stay close. I think somebody is going to blow somebody out here, but I don't know which side to lean on. I do like over 41, though. Rams versus Chargers. The Chargers are overrated. We saw the Rams Christmas game. The Rams are very capable of blowing out the Chargers. +6.5 seems free. The money lines at plus odds is worth looking at, but we'll talk more about that in my dogs. What is it called? Dogs of the Week. There we go. Yeah, we got it. Dogs of the Week. Menu option later on today. And we're going to roll into Vikings versus Packers. Vikings, +150. I like that plus sign. I know everybody else does as well. Even and then some? Come on, baby. It's that Vikings magic. We're not going to be the ones fading it. We've seen it prove itself a couple of times now, and I don't want to wait around and be at the, the beach when the ship's leaving. No, way later, when it's like 7-1, you get on, and then bam, it just switches on, the Degenerate curse. And then we got Steelers versus Ravens. Ravens are known to drop the ball quite often, and it's not a team that I like putting money on. When I see Steelers plus 125, knowing Steelers are a great team, I like backing the Steelers. Plus odds, I love that shit, especially when it's pick 'em close like this. Ravens don't have it in them. I also went with the Bengals plus one against the Bills. The Bills, I mean, they're the Bills. The Bengals are the Bengals. I think that it's going to be a pick 'em. I think that it's going to be close. That's why it's at plus and minus one. I do think that it'll come down to a field goal, but I do believe that the Bengals are a better team in this matchup, especially at home. And then for our people who can't, bet by the books, they got to do the fantasy apps, Prize Picks. We all love Prize Picks. It's where you can bet parlays off of fantasies. You can bet shots on goal in hockey. You can bet, let's see. Let's pull it all up and just read out a few of the things that you can pick on the NFL section. All right, NFL. We got pass yards, rush yards, receiving yards, receptions, pass TDs. We got punts, guys. You know those punts have been scoring lately. Kick points, fantasy score, rush, and receiving yards. Pass plus rush yards, rush and receiving yards, rush and TDs, pass attempts, pass completions, interceptions, tackles and assists, sacks. You can make parlays of 2 all the way up to 6. 2 gives you like 3 times your bet. If I'm not mistaken, 6 gets you 25. It might even be more. I'll have to double check. But we can get you some free money as well if you use code PRBIZ in VTR. PRBIZ in VTR. It gives you a 100% match of your first deposit and definitely worth checking out. You get some free money, get some wins, see how you like it. It is better than FanDuel, DraftKings, and stuff like that, in my opinion, because you're not having to enlist in tournaments, go head to head, or anything like that. It's just you versus the book with this shit. And it's legal in Texas, California, places where, sports betting has been illegal forever, and it doesn't seem like they're changing that anytime soon. And if you're a Prize Pick virgin, you used our code, or you just want to tail our picks, I got a little 2-leg green goblin for you boys that I hope that we have 2 green check marks at the end of the night for. I would definitely pair this with a 3rd to give you a little bit better money, maybe a 4th if you know some others. But if you just take the little 2-legger, that's great too. It triples your money. It is Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Seems like a lock against the Titans. And then we got CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 receiving yards. Let me pull up real quick on my phone on the Prize Pick apps what he's done recently. Because if I remember correctly, it is quite more than 71.5. All right, receiving yards. Check out the stats online. His average of the last 5 is 91.2. His last game, 120. The game before that, 126. Houston, it was only 33. Maybe they weren't using them heavy in that game, which that could be the case tonight, so don't get it twisted. This isn't necessarily a freebie, but I do think that it's a good pick based on record. Indianapolis, 71. New York Giants, 106. New York Giants, 106. I'm going to read out those picks 2 more times, guys. Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing TDs. CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 receiving yards. And again, Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing TDs. CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 receiving yards. Our code for 100% match of your first deposit is PRBIZNVTR. PRBIZNVTR. Get your first deposit matched up to $100 and really rock out, guys. Send them on a sick one. Hit a few 25x bets and shit. Do your thing. Hopefully they give you a few more promo codes because this can only be used for our first-time users. Our first-time users can use the code PRBIZNVTR. And we are going to rock it on back to talking about the Broncos head coach, as you can see in topic number 4. We are going to talk about Nathaniel Hackett. My boy, he was a debut coach. This was his first year as a head coach, they didn't give him no rebuilding year. After that Christmas game against the Rams, they said, listen, Sonny, pack your shit and get gone. We need to find somebody to make it work. But here's the catch. Interim head coaches seem not to want this job. People are already rumored to have denied it. Why don't they want it? And why did they fire Nathaniel Hackett before, like I said, giving him a rebuilding year, giving him a full year to show what he can prove? They kicked him out at Christmas. Is this the right move? It doesn't make sense to me. It seems very rushed, and they don't have a plan to get out of the problem that they are creating if they can't find an interim. I'm always of the thought of have your interim lined up to go before you make this decision. But after that, let's see, I think it was 52-14, if I'm not mistaken. 51-14. 51-14 lost to the Rams. I guess that was the final straw. This coach had a debut of 4-11. It's not great, but we've definitely had worse performances before. Is this the right choice to fire Nathaniel Hackett? Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat if you're hanging out with us right now. And then, guys, we have topic number 5. Topic number 5. I'm going to pull up a text file real quick on our screen so I can just write this out with y'all. One moment, guys. I'm pulling this up. We have a lot of sick ones here. I'll use what we use for Weekend Warriors. I'll just edit it as we go along. Delete all that. And no fumble. Top 3 dogs. Let's add week 17 in there. Week 17. All right. So for our first one, as we mentioned when we were going over the board review, we have to back the Vikings tonight. The Vikings at plus 125, it just seems like a freebie to me. Or I think it's even better. Plus 150. Plus 150, I want to be a part of that Vikings magic. I do not want to be on the bad end of it and just miss out. If it's at plus money, count me in. Count me in. And then we're going to go for the Rams. Rams plus 230. Honestly, I just like plus 230. After that, defeat they put on to the Broncos, and they got the head coach fired. I think that it's good to get behind the Rams. They were also the underdog in that game. What's going to stop them from doing the same in this game? As I said, the Chargers are very, very overrated, and I think the Rams might can get this in the bag. And at plus 230, I'm willing to take that chance. And then we're going back to the Steelers. Steelers plus 125. That's who I was thinking of with the plus 125 against the Ravens. The Ravens, they just aren't that team. They might as well be known as the coin stealers. It seems like they always steal my coin. Every time that I bet on them, every time that I think that they're going to do it, they don't do it. Steelers being a great team at plus 125, I think it's a great option for our third dog of the week. Our top 3 dogs of the weeks are Vikings, plus 150 money line. Rams, plus 230. Rams, plus 230. And then our third is Steelers, plus 125. I'm going to put that up here so y'all can keep viewing it. I'll try to make it a little bigger. There we go, guys. And then we're going to get a second text file. Let's get this second text file going. Add, bada bing, bada boom. It's probably going to delete what's up here. Let's see if it does. Let's see if it does. Do y'all think it will? I hope not. Let's see. Bam. It sure as hell did. It sure as hell did. Okay, so we're not going to have 2 text files, unfortunately. Oh, we'll get that prepared for the next segment when y'all tune in to No Fumbles next Thursday. Next Thursday, I'm going to try to drop it around 3:30, 4 o'clock my time. So that is Central Time, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Central Time. Make sure y'all tune in. But as I said, I'm pulling up this text file, and we will talk about our top 3 picks. Our top 3 picks of the week. These aren't dogs. These are our top 3 of week 17. If you look at our video, we have the text file on board now. So to start it off, we're going Giants over 38.5. Let me go back to our reasoning in our NFL board. Giants. There we go. They've met 5 out of their last 5 meetups. They've met this 5 out of 5 times. They blew this out of the water. What's going to change this time? I think the Giants are on a great track to put up over 38 and a half. 38 and a half tonight. 2, we have, let's see, guys. Let's see. We have a lot of picks. Rams plus 6.5. Rams plus 6.5. They are very, very competent and able to pull off a win tonight at plus 250. But I think plus 6.5 is a more free bet. If this game comes down to a field goal and the other team takes it, okay, well, so be it. Plus 6.5 seems like a lot, guys. Hopefully we go 3-0. 3-0 this weekend. We're giving you our third pick. We're going to count this record a little different than our dog record. We're going to try to keep them separate. You know, the dog record is hard. We don't want to mix those two together. All right, let's get on to our third pick. Our third pick is Bucks. -3. The Buccaneers -3, guys. Let's see who they're playing up top. Panthers. We're saying that the Buccaneers are the better team. Panthers are a low-loss team. This should be -6.5 in my opinion. But we got it -3. We got lucky. I don't believe that they're going to continue this low-loss streak. They're not a team that can dominate. They have 1 loss on the board. I think tonight's where they get to. Let's see it. 1 loss in their division is what I mean, of course. All right, guys. Let's see if we have anything else left for you. It doesn't look like it. Tonight's pick, Titans plus 12. Some dogs of the week. We got Vikings plus 150, Rams plus 230, Steelers plus 125. Then our top 3 are Giants over 38.5, Rams plus 6.5, and Bucks -3, the Buccaneers -3. And our prize picks, going back to our prize picks, Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing TDs, CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 receiving yards. Let me make this graphic a little bit bigger before we sign off so you can catch it. These are our top 3. Our top 3 are Giants over 38.5, Rams plus 6.5, Buccaneers -3. Remember, guys, you can call in at 713-489-9402 with your picks. We'd love to hear from you. And you can catch us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. Just type in the Degenerate Pod. You'll find us. And we'd love to have you around. Make sure you just subscribe. Drop some W's in the chat if you're viewing us live. Comment after the fact. Let's get some thumbs up going. Let's just get to it, guys. I hope to see some wins. Don't be afraid to drop your picks. Drop your picks in the chat. And to call us at 713-489-9402. 713-489-9402. I want the easy bets, the sweatless bets, the easy picks, guys. Come on, put them out there for us. 713-489-9402. I don't care about the sport. It could be League of Legends. Us Degens love picks. Let's go, boys. I hope you all have a great week 17.